Hello, everybody. We need to talk about the Kanye West lawsuit because then I wrote P. Diddy into it. Okay, so you might have seen, like, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, something May or June, Kanye West was sued by a person purporting to be a former assistant. Her name is Lauren. I do not know how to pronounce her last name. It's like Piscata or something like that. Very interesting individual, this Lauren Piscata, because I'd never heard of her before, but she is a OF model of sorts, a model of sorts. She claims to have worked in A&R. She claims to have managed artists. She claims to have contributed creatively to one of Kanye's albums all the way back in 2015, and she's suing Kanye West. Okay, so she sued him several months ago, and I don't know if I ever did go over that lawsuit or not. Around that same time, Kanye was sued by yet another separate, different employee. This one was a male employee who made all kind of allegations, which I did talk about on my other channel, ThatSurpriseWitness. Lauren filed an amendment to this lawsuit on October 8th, right? Today's like, I don't know, like not even the 18th yet. So it's like, less than 10 days ago, she files this amendment. And in this amendment, we get some more specifics. She talks about retaliation that she has faced since she filed that lawsuit. The first one, the original before she amended it. And she also brings up the details of a P. Diddy party that some familiar things that we've heard alleged before did allegedly happen at as well. So I did not want to go through the whole lawsuit. I promise I tried to start doing that on my other channel, ThatSurpriseWitness. It's 86-page long lawsuit. I was on there for like 2.5 hours and I didn't even finish half of it. Okay, so we definitely not going to be doing the line by line over here. I do still owe y'all the, part 2 over there on that one, but that is where all this P. Diddy allegations and stuff comes up. So without further ado, let's just talk about some of the high points of this lawsuit by Lauren versus Kanye West and Yeezy and some other people. The lawsuit against Kanye does have to do with some similar themes as the Diddy lawsuits. We're talking sex, payment, ficking, parties, and a special certain performance enhancement, honey, that Kanye apparently can't live without. Okay, so again, all of this is allegations made in a lawsuit. I know firsthand as well as anybody. People can lie their ass off in a lawsuit. They could put any fake false lie in a lawsuit that they want to. And a lot of times nothing happens to them. Okay, so take everything in a lawsuit with a grain of salt unless there is evidence. But she also does outline a little bit how Kanye apparently allegedly is cruel, unstable, and of course we've heard the allegation before that he is anti-Semitic. Now, for the purposes of this highlights point we're going to talk about here today, I really want to focus on the parties and the Diddy piece because that hooks us back into the web, and that's really what I'm trying to do over here. So one thing I learned right off the bat, Kanye West apparently has these sex parties and he will do them anywhere and everywhere. I mean, he ain't just renting out hotels. Actually, she didn't say he rented out hotels ever. What Lauren said was that Kanye has to have bedrooms, makeshift bedrooms set up by his assistants in all of his offices. So if he has a workplace, he got a bedroom in it. And it could be a closet, it could be a bathroom, it could be a changing room, whatever it is. And the lawsuit outlines what these bedrooms were to, the specifications. And it was a mattress on the floor. They didn't outline whether or not they had to have sheets on the mattress, but you did have to have a blanket of some sort and pillows. Okay, so that's what Kanye needs for his room. And on top of that, he's always wanting this honey, performance enhancement honey. Again, allegations. I certainly wasn't there. I didn't know about this honey till I read the lawsuit. Okay. But Lauren does say that Bianca Censori is in on it. She's happily, willingly participating. What Lauren says in her amended complaint is that since she filed that first version of the complaint against Kanye, she has faced some very serious retaliation. Again, I take stuff with a grain of salt because I know people can lie through their teeth in a lawsuit. But she's claiming that she basically got swatted. There were multiple emergency calls made about her house, including that both of her parents had been unalived, including that there was an explosive fire in her kitchen, including that she had armed weapons that she was, all kinds of things. So she's claiming that she's gotten swatted. She also claimed that people had reported gas leaks at her building in her apartment, fake drug OD. There's a whole section. It's like this long on the lawsuit of her saying this has happened, this has happened, this has happened. And this lady she's not common like us. She ain't broke like the rest of us. She's living in a very, very fancy building. King Astara's or something in the middle of LA. It's like super nice. upscale celebrity like apartment building, and they're like busting up in there talking about a gas leak. I mean, it's like, I'm sure it's causing problems. So she don't live there no more. And I don't know if that's where that happened or not, to be honest, but she did say that she did live there, which gives me an idea of her type of living circumstances, like very luxurious. You know what I mean? What I would have liked to seen in this lawsuit is a little bit, even like 1 or 2 pieces of evidence for these allegations. Cause she puts a paragraph, gas leaks, double homicide, knife attack, drug OD. But there's not even, so much as like one police report attached, not a police report mentioned, not I called the police, it was this department, it was this number, it was this day. I do understand that is a big problem, or like a lot of work. I do understand it's a lot of work to go through and do all that for everything. And I don't think she should have did that for everything. But as someone, personally me, I know people can lie. People do lie in lawsuits. Am I saying she's lying? Hell no, I don't know. I wasn't there. She could be telling the truth. Anything. Yeah. I mean, even a screenshot of a text, even anything, any evidence. And that's one thing that I did notice about her lawsuit. The evidence she provides is like retyped out text messages. So it's not even a screenshot. So I'm like, but what did you say? Or what did you delete? Or what did you not? It's like, not that I don't believe her, but when you bring something into a court of law, you have to follow the court of law rules, and that includes the evidentiary rules. And so just typing something ain't gonna cut it, Lima. Just typing something ain't gonna cut it, But I do want to get into some of her, allegations. I'm gonna focus on like 3 major kind of stories, like vignettes within this 86-page lawsuit. Just 3 of them. And she tells a lot, but I'm gonna focus like 3, maybe it's like 3.5. The first one we're gonna talk about is July 2021. Okay, she's still working for him July 2021. This is, according to page 82 of the complaint, quote, shortly after she began working for him. She originally had met him back in 2015 at a party of sorts. She was managing an artist. I never heard of her as an artist manager, but I'm sure that Hollywood's crawling with them. I don't know. Maybe somebody with some more expertise than me could tell me. But is there like, is artist manager kind of like in some sinister circles, like another word for pimp? I'm just wondering. I mean, have you heard this? I don't know. We're not experts or anything about the music industry. It's just all starting to web about, I should say. Anyway, so July 2021. But you should know, this lady, Lauren, she met Kanye all the way back in 2015. I've said that before, but it's very important because she worked with him on an album or something, like a workshop in 2015. She contributed to one of his what's it called? Albums. Oh, I said it 5 seconds ago. Then she starts actually working for him. Okay, now it's July 2021. Shortly after she started working for him, she was in San Francisco at an album making workshop, working on Kanye's 10th studio album, Donda. This is all according to the lawsuit. I don't know, I wasn't there. Everyone's working on this album, and he had rented out a hotel or a bunch of rooms in a hotel. The way that it apparently, I guess, worked there is the people working on the album, so these writers and collaborators and everybody's all there, producers, everybody's all there doing their thing. Look, listen, I need about 2 people to work on an album, maybe 5 tops. I don't need a hotel full of people. That seems like a lot. No. I can make the whole album myself, really. Banging on this table, really. But anyway, that's how they do it over there. That's how they do it up there. So she said that they were required to work in the hotel rooms or the ballroom of the hotel, which I guess they had rented out as well. So she says like 6 a.m., like 6 o'clock in the morning. And she hears the loudest banging on her hotel room door. Bang, 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 bang. She wakes up at 6 a.m., opens the door, looks through the peephole, sees a Kanye, her boss, and she's his assistant, opens the door. And he blusters in, stumbles in, boom, 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 start kicking his shoes off. Like, I can imagine Kanye West in person is like Hurricane Kanye. It's just like, probably like similar to being around Bam. It's just like, everybody better be looking right there because who knows what's about to happen. Like, I kind of feel like that is probably his energy. Yeah. So he starts Hurricane Kanye right in the middle of her room at 6 a.m., kicks his shoes off, starts stripping, talking about, I need to take a shower. The gym shower is out of order. So she's like, okay. She said she had put on the hotel robe. So she's claiming to have covered herself up before he came in. And then it wasn't really no telling him no, So she said she left out of the bathroom, went to sit near the window, like as far away from the bathroom as she could get in her hotel room by the window, just wait for him to take a shower and leave. Now, in the lawsuit, this happens on page like 75 out of 85. Okay, so like she has really outlined at this point in the lawsuit many, 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 many advances that Kanye had tried to make toward her. Tried to touch her, tried to grab her, has tried to invite her to these parties, tried to lure her into the party, tried to give her away to one of his friends as a gift in exchange for Kanye getting to sleep with that friend's girlfriend. It was just like, she she's really not painted a pretty picture of Kanye up until this point. Kanye finishes his shower. It lasts like 2 minutes. He comes out in a towel and walks directly toward plaintiff, Lauren, drops the towel. This is in her hotel room, like 6 in the morning, according to her. And then he pushes her, according to her, from the chair onto the bed. Proceeds to then stand on the bed, Kanye West, naked, butt naked, standing on the bed, straddling her. And she's kind of like pushed up against the headboard, sort of pillows. Like she's trying to kind of wriggle away. And he puts his hand on the wall behind the headboard and like traps her. And she's like, no, I don't want to do this or whatever. And then he's like, lets his hand go and like falls on her and traps her. And then that's whenever he's trying to thrust his private parts in and around her facial area. And she's apparently saying, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this. And closing her mouth. Okay, according to her. After some time, he stops trying, says nothing but the word sorry, says he won't do it again or something, and leaves. So then she says they still have to finish this album making workshop. So he just goes about his day acting normal, making his usual demands upon her. Her regular duties and expectations were required the same day, you know, just like nothing happened. Sorry, girl. Anyway, you know, that's kind of that first incident I wanted to describe. And then she said that also Kanye would boast. He would boast that he had hooked up with her and messed around with her. And she's like, no, he didn't. She's like, no, he didn't. That's just not true. Like, yeah, like he's my boss. He's paying me $1 million a year. So I put up with some shit. But we never hooked up. Like I actually made it a point not to. And I believe that's why I ended up getting fired, because I wouldn't hook up with him. She says he would go around telling people they did. And she was just like, no, we didn't. Like I'm on purpose not hooking up with you. Like I'm on purpose trying to avoid it. And she's like a pretty, you know, sexy lady. And, you know, I could see, you know, Kanye being physically attracted to her. She's beautiful. But like at the same time, what in the world? And that's why I wanted to highlight this story, because if this really happened, there's no way around that. That's not acceptable. So the next big story I want to get to, maybe the biggest one, the Diddy Kanye party from hell. Now at this point in time, I guess this was years ago, you know, 2015-ish. Lauren is an artist manager for some company or something I really don't know, for a musician. Okay. She calls it a former artist management client. So somebody she was managing, and it was a musician, female. They were invited to a studio session. In particular, this artist that Lauren was managing. We'll put a silhouette PNG with a music note or something. Just this person. I don't know who it is. It says name withheld. They go to a party and it's a studio session. It's not really called a party, but you know these studio sessions that these people be having, they always turn into some kind of crazy party. And so Diddy and Kanye were co-hosting a studio session. Lauren says she was there with her artist management client and everybody had to drink. An announcement was made. I don't know who made the announcement. I didn't write it down in my notes. Might have been Diddy, might have been Kanye, might have been, who knows. But there was an announcement made. Everybody at this party has to drink. If you don't drink, you got to leave. Plaintiff did as told, because she's trying to help her client be part of this session and all that. She says after one drink, she gets disoriented and blacks out. This is Lauren, the person suing Kanye. The one who was just, you know, telling us about years later she would be, you know, thrusted upon in the hotel. She said her memory is completely gone. She remembers sitting on the couch, drinking some drink, and then that's it. She don't remember much else. Now, she said she woke up the next morning and, you know, didn't remember much else and didn't remember really what happened. But she felt embarrassed because she had allowed herself to get so drunk. She had allowed herself to be unprofessional in a professional environment, she said. So she's embarrassed, and then she doesn't really want to talk to the client. She doesn't want to talk to that musician client about it because she's embarrassed or whatever, right? She says in the lawsuit, she, quote, naively believed a studio assistant or someone else who had prepped the drinks had laced it, right? Had drugged her. She did believe she was drugged that night because her memory, it was one drink, her memory was gone. But she said she blamed herself. She was like, it's my mistake. I shouldn't have accepted a drink from some random. I should have made my own drink. If I had to drink, I should have made the drink myself. She said it never even crossed her mind that it could possibly be Kanye or Diddy, who possibly could have been even known about this, much less took advantage of her during that state or something like that. Now, she said she could not recall and certainly was not aware that any kind of assault had happened to her or her client. So if you read between the lines, end up finding out years ago, 10 years almost now, this lady brought a client to a Diddy Kanye studio session and the client was assaulted. And she's admitting it in this lawsuit. Years later, she accepted a position to work for Kanye and was his executive assistant and then became chief of staff. Now the question is, well, she's saying she don't remember. Does she remember? And she's saying she don't. So I'll take her word for it for now. Okay. But for me personally, didn't she already outline Kanye's MO at these parties, like in the previous 75 pages of this lawsuit? Like she kind of already said how it goes. So it's ambiguous to me, you know, it's unexplainable to me how she couldn't have at least thought maybe something might have happened like that to her. But she didn't, and good for her. I mean, you shouldn't sit there being paranoid or whatever if something didn't happen. So fine, whatever. She assumed the client was disappointed in her because she got drunk in a professional business setting. She claims that she had no reason to believe she was assaulted. She brushed it off as her own mistake and never suspected Kanye could be behind it. Okay. So years goes by, harp, years later, SpongeBob voice. Now, at this point, years later, Lauren has become Kanye West's Yeezy chief of staff. She had also been hired by other Yeezy affiliated companies to do work as well. And she had also participated in working on at least another album in an A&R capacity. Okay, I think that might have been all the way back in 2015. So she's still using that as a resume point, right? I brought that client there on an A&R capacity. We both got drugged and we both got R-worded or, you know, assaulted. She said one night, Kanye and Kim Kardashian are fighting on text message. They getting in a fight, Kim and Kanye. Ye was enraged. Kim had made a negative comment about Lauren, the plaintiff. And Lauren wanted to clear the air with Kim. So Kim's mad that I'm assuming Kanye is spending all this time with Lauren. Lauren wants to just clear the air with Kim. Let me talk to Kim. Tell her we don't have nothing going on until I can tell her that we never hooked up. Kanye said, quote, on page 80, "We did kind of hook up one time. And so no, you can't send that message because we hooked up." Lauren says she, quote, "still carried immense shame and guilt about how she represented herself that night because she's still thinking she drank it. Maybe it was some little studio assistant or somebody that did that." She said in that moment, she realizes Kanye had told his wife, Kim, that she had hooked up with Kanye. No wonder Kim don't like her. And she's like, I wonder what Kim would think if she knew the full story, that I was drugged and that my boss took advantage of me. This is her allegations, right? And this sets me to wondering, this is a side note, got written in the red ink right here. Was Kim Kardashian herself put in a position like this before making her infamous tape with Ray J? Like that happened in 2002. I don't know when the credit card scandal happened, but did somebody say, I'm about to make my money back on a tape of you, whether you like it or not, because you stole from my sister? So you can, I don't know. I mean, it does seem like that's how these people operate. Like, was that tape really consensually recorded for public release like we've been now told to think? Or was it more like the original where somebody had that tape? I don't know. I wasn't there. But it just makes me think about all these different tapes that people had and how these celebrity studio session parties are all being recorded. We're talking about hidden cameras at Diddy's and hidden cameras. The plaintiff goes on to say she still maintains she has no memory other than sipping from the drink that Kanye gave her. Again, this is sounding very familiar to like all the Diddy lawsuits, right? This is a Kanye West lawsuit, but it's like Lil Rod said that. A bunch of the Diddy lawsuits are like, I sipped a drink and I don't remember nothing. Then Kanye laughed at her in this conversation that they're having. And he said, quote, "Women love to say they don't remember." And then he promptly changed the subject. Once Lauren found out the truth, she said she really felt immense shame, discomfort, and utter disgust. She claims that Kanye then lured her back into his orbit by way of a job opportunity. And she was shocked. But she said, actually, that shock shouldn't have been shocked. The shock wore off quickly because I already knew. Kanye already showed me his MO when he offered me as a gift to his friend to sleep with the friend's girlfriend. Or whenever he came in and did that alleged, according to the lawsuit, assault in the hotel room, and how he treated other women and how he talked about other women and how he treated his own wife and how he was acting. She's like, I shouldn't have been shocked at all. And so it wore off quickly. She said she wanted to quit, but she wanted her money more. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. She's like, she wanted to wait until she was paid her $3 million severance. And she knew that he could silence and blacklist her also. She mentions Jay-Z in this lawsuit. And she talks about how whenever she was promoted to chief of staff, Kanye actually texted Jay-Z, I promoted Lauren Piscata to chief of staff. And Jay-Z's like, oh, that's awesome, or whatever. Like, it's very weird to me. Why is Kanye telling Jay-Z he promoted this girl to chief of staff unless Jay-Z knows her? I really don't know. So she does end up getting terminated. She doesn't end up getting paid what she was promised to get paid. There's a dispute over money. And that brings us to the last story I wanted to talk about, which is the Post Malone concert. So she says this was after she had been fired, and she went to a concert November 2022 at the Forum in Inglewood, California. She went there, but it just so happened that Kanye and his wife Bianca were in attendance, and she attended and saw that Kanye was actually in the same section of the concert as her. So she wanted to leave out of that section. Her friend was apparently there who had some type of pull. She could move out of the section. And so she's trying to leave the section, and Kanye hollers out to her, "Lauren!" He noticed her. If that's me, hear no evil, baby. I'm out of here. I ain't even acting like bye. That ain't what Lauren did. She says that she turned around and went back toward him. Why she did that, I could not possibly tell you. When he's walking toward her, she's walking toward him. She said he grabbed her up by the throat and had his hand around her neck real tight, playfully, but kind of still a little forcefully. And he said, quote, "I always knew what I'd do to you if I ever saw you again." At the VIP in the Post Malone concert in Inglewood at the Forum. She said this part makes me sick. He then put his tongue in her ear and starts wiggling the tongue around, which makes me want to literally, he would have had a bust eardrum, and it wouldn't even been within my power. It wouldn't even been within my power. He would have been missing some of them platinum dentures in his mouth. Somebody come up to me and try to lick my ear.
Cornberry.
It's literally Lord Cornberry's demon. So as far as Bianca, you might be wondering, well, what is Kanye's wife having to say about him licking somebody down in the middle of the VIP section while he's choking him by the throat? Apparently, according to the lawsuit, she's unbothered. She's used to it. She's constantly, quote, consensually participating in this bizarre sexual behavior, fantasy, and foreplay, resembling actions inflicted upon plaintiff. She also makes a bunch of other allegations that, I don't really have time to get into all of them, but some of the allegations are that Kanye is ficking women by, and I guess maybe men, but in the Kanye one, they really focus on women. It's not really the only time they say anything about men is to say that there are men at Kanye's parties, the Kanye freak-offs. Yeah, the Kanye freak-offs. So there are men there, and according to her, girl, I don't know. And she didn't include no pictures or anything like that. She withheld a lot of people's names. I would be remiss not to at least mention in conclusion. It seems as though she was aware of Kanye's MO, and yet she continued to bring artists and others around him and around these environments. Not only she continued to work for him, but she continued to help set up the bedrooms, help move into new offices. She was there with him during those infamous anti-Semitic rants, okay? The ones we all know about. Can't even put them on YouTube. But it's almost giving why you didn't have a problem with none of this till October 8th, 2024. Why didn't you include the Diddy party in the first lawsuit? Somebody might say, because those hadn't been filed. Oh, yes, they had. That was only a few months ago. Put your theories in the comments down below because, girl, I did not know I was not there. It's giving Ghislaine. It's something that's been coming up a lot lately. I mean, I think it reached the public purview with Drake Bell, where it's all right, ew, shame on you for pleading guilty to some of these behaviors with a minor. But then at the same time, poor thing, you were a little child and a grown man was doing unspeakable things to you. Nobody was stopping it. They tore your family apart. And then whenever there was a lawsuit about it, everybody showed up to go against you and you're 15, right? Because if your industry is working for very famous celebrities, once you reach that pinnacle level, they do all know each other. Politics don't matter, race don't matter, religion don't matter. They know each other in the billionaire class. And if you're trying to work as the right hand to a billionaire, this is a death wish. That's the other thing. She might have not even been able to. But it does seem like she knew some things. I actually do believe that she probably doesn't remember much from that night. And I do believe that probably everybody that was forced to drink that drink did get a little dose of that, whatever was in it. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, one time in my life I had 2 drinks and blacked out. And guess where it was? Los Angeles, California, in West Hollywood. Debit card got stole. Somebody used it on DSW shoes. I left my shoes that I just bought for the Free Britney rally there. I left something else there. My brand new glasses that I just bought broke. And the one thing I remember from that night is getting in an Uber. Next thing I realize, I'm laying on the floor in the hotel room hallway. It's my hotel. I was there with my fiance. So, I mean, he also blacked out. And He never really drank again after that night. I believe I was drugged. I won't speculate as to who it was, but I will say I saw one of the people I speculate who it is a few times after it happened. That person cannot look at me in my eyes. If the shoe fits, put it on your corned up, bunioned ass foot, bitch. I don't drink in WeHo no more at all. I don't really go there. I don't go there if I can help it. That's all I really have for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, Minnie K. Bye.
Bianca Censori's mom is clearing up some explicit rumors about her and her son-in-law, Kanye West. Alexandra Censori responded to claims in a woman's lawsuit that Kanye wanted to sleep with her while her daughter watched. The Daily Mail caught up with her while she ran errands in Melbourne, Australia, where she told the outlet that she, quote, wouldn't be drawn into the latest claims about Kanye and asked for privacy.
DJ investigate, she gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case, yeah. It's not a lie when it's paperwork. She will expose the truth. Daily updates for you. Better subscribe like I knew you would. We gotta stand for what's right. We gotta do for the good, yeah. I don't know what y'all have heard. That surprise witness got the word. We don't believe in Scientology. I do not need your mind control on me. We don't need your conservatorships, no. We doing right what's right for the kids. Whoa.
Y'all cannot control me. I control my own mind. You could've controlled me then. Still not in this lifetime. Can you send us down the pink angel from the heavens of truth? You don't want to debate with BJ. Studying law is what she do.
Do not send any hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you.